finally going to fight on July 29th. Who wins and how?
Oh, man, that's a great question. They're fighting, Max. That's how you're going to know who's going to win the fight. They're fighting. But I have some concerns. I really do. And the first thing that came to mind is can Crawford win a decision in Vegas?
I'll reject your deposit. We shook. Tim bought. Now we out of the closet. Old media wonder why blow them out. Next time grown folks talking, close your mouth. Peep me. Feel me? What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now let me start with a light flex, a little gloaty gloat. Let the boy gloat. Let the boy cook. Now I'm the greatest to do it. The best in the business, and it's not even close. If you follow me on social media, I put out this tweet last week. Check the dates. June 19th, 1:36. I find it hilarious that many of the boxing legends were adamantly picking Terence Crawford last year when negotiations were slow and dragging, breakdowns as if Errol Spence stood not a chance. Now that the fight is signed, sealed, and delivered with press conferences, many of those are switching sides, picking Errol, or now talking about Errol can win if this or that. And just like clockwork, after this tweet was released to you good people, Tim Bradley said that clip at the beginning. Now he says he's concerned about Bud Crawford getting a fair shake in Las Vegas. Mind you, Errol Spence is from Texas, DeSoto, Dallas area. He's not from Las Vegas. He doesn't live in Vegas. But somehow, some way, Baldhead Bradley is concerned that Terence Crawford of Omaha, Nebraska, can't get a fair shake when it comes to the judges. And he had said a few more things I want you guys to hear, so roll the clip.
Can Crawford win a decision in Vegas? You have to understand this. Look at the history of Crawford and the way he starts fights. He's a bit of a slow starter, and you think about the way Spence starts fights. He's quick out the gate. He's consistent with his offense. And going down the stretch, if he gets behind on the scorecards, Crawford, he's going to need a knockout to win in Vegas. And you got to understand that the history of the judging in Vegas. I remember the Floyd Mayweather era where defense was, thought to be great, and you were getting points for defense. But now it has shifted. Now it's more about the aggressive fighter, the fighter that throws more punches. That's what I'm seeing from Vegas judges now. Guys that are in your face, pressing the action, being the aggressor. And we know Spence is that guy. So that's my concern moving forward in this fight. But my pick has always been Terence Crawford. I think he's more versatile. I think he brings so much more to the table than Errol Spence. And I think he's going to take advantage of some of the holes that I see in Spence's offense. So my pick is Terence Crawford. Sorry.
Yeah. Blobbity blue blah blah blobbity blue blah. I ain't hear a word you said. Hibbity hoopla. Timothy Bradley, I don't know if that was a Freudian slip, but he just said, for my pick, I'm picking Errol. I'm picking Terence Crawford. Sorry. Wow, he can't even say the right prediction. I don't know, is Tim Bradley getting cold feet? Now, I find it absolutely remarkable that I put out that tweet last week before this interview saying the boxing legends were double backing and starting to switch up, and then it happened. Now, I gotta throw Timothy Bradley straight up into the frying pan, because what I do is I strive to give you guys accurate, reliable information. Even if it's my opinion, I intelligently break it down, why I feel the way I feel, try to give you guys examples, etc. Tim Bradley, I'm kind of confident that he's just saying stuff. I don't know if he's saying it for ratings, if he's told to say whatever he's saying, but it sounds crazy. So let's just expose what he's talking about. So now he's saying he's concerned, since the fight has been signed, about Errol Spence and Crawford, if Crawford can get a fair shake in Las Vegas. Even though I just told you earlier in this broadcast that neither guy, including Errol Spence, the A side, is from Las Vegas, but he's worried about the Las Vegas judges. Few problems with that. For starters, Tim Bradley wasn't saying that when the fight was just in talks. What do I mean? Let me show you, man. I said, bow. Tim Bradley, this is a previous interview from a year ago. Tim Bradley says that Terence Crawford knocks out Errol Spence. He knocks out Errol Spence. Separate interview. Crawford is gonna finish Spence. He's gonna finish Spence, and he gives his fight prediction. So a year ago, Tim Bradley was saying that Crawford would finish or stop Errol Spence. In fact, he also says, quote, "I will pick Terence Crawford to beat a prime Floyd Mayweather." And in the words of the legendary Bill Duke, you know you done effed up, right? You said you picked Bud Crawford to beat Money May, Pretty Boy Floyd. You know you done messed up, right? You know you done messed up. No, I try to say, you done messed up. You done fucked up, right? Bro, you done, what? So let me just get the Floyd thing out of the way. Floyd is from Grand Rapids, Michigan. We all know that the best fighters in boxing come from the Midwest. Rest in peace, Roger Mayweather. Most don't know ish about boxing. They showing don't. So he migrated to the West Side and became Floyd Mayweather. And him and Jeff Mayweather, I think, had his first pro fight in the back of a car lot. And that was in Las Vegas. So that's his adopted home. So you just said that you would pick Terence Crawford to beat a prime Floyd Mayweather, but now you're saying you're concerned about Errol Spence, who hasn't at this point done what Floyd Mayweather has done. Very good fighter. But if you were that confident, how would you be worried about Crawford not getting a fair shake with Errol, his modern day contemporary? But you had previously said you would pick Crawford to beat a prime Floyd Mayweather. How's he going to beat a prime Floyd Mayweather who was the face of boxing and his adopted home of Las Vegas if you're afraid that he might not get a fair shake against Errol Spence in 2023? Beyond that, Floyd Mayweather, since we're using his name, Floyd made the judge's job extremely easy because he would show separation in his fights. So if you think that Crawford's truly better or good enough to beat Floyd or have beaten a prime Floyd, then why would you be concerned with Terence Crawford losing to the judge's scorecard when Floyd had 50 pro fights and it was a pretty easy time scoring majority of them, like 99, damn near 100% of them, based on the way he showed separation, as I just mentioned. Now getting back to Errol Spence, beyond the Floyd Mayweather point, you just said in several interviews that Errol Spence is getting knocked out and stopped. If you get knocked out, then the fight doesn't go to the judge's scorecard because whatever the judges had on their scorecard doesn't matter because you got knocked out at the time of the stoppage. So you destroyed the fighter inside of the distance within 12 rounds. So what changed? Crawford's still undefeated. He just got a knockout in his last fight. And Errol Spence has been on this long inactive streak. Why are you concerned all of a sudden that Terence Crawford is not going to get a fair shake with the judges? What's changed? So it leads me to believe that you didn't really believe what you were saying and you were saying it for whatever clout, because you're friends with Crawford, bias, whatever. But there's no way you can make me believe that you said two different polar opposite things in a short space of time and nothing has really changed. Like I said, Crawford, he's the one that fought in December. Errol ain't fought since April of last year. And now you're worried about the judge's scorecard. But you were just saying when the fight was hypothetical, when it was, back and forth negotiation for many months, you were saying that Terence Crawford was going to knock out Errol Spence. It doesn't make sense. And I've been on the internet busting y'all over the head for many years. And how come I stand 10 toes down on everything that I said? The only way to get me off of my stance is to prove me wrong. And that seldom happens. But you got guys like Tim Bradley, in a short space of time, he was just telling you Crawford will win via knockout, but now suddenly he's concerned with the judges. These two things, that's an oxymoron. It doesn't make sense. It's like saying you're fat, skinny. Like, I know people say it, but technically it doesn't really make sense that to be fat and skinny at the same time. Or if someone says you're short, tall, I mean, either you're tall or you're short. Either you think Crawford is gonna knock out Errol Spence and you're not worried about the judges because you're that confident, or you're not truly confident at all. But I told you, the boxing legends the energy was starting to shift and change, where you would see guys and they were like seemingly so adamant and vehement about Crawford destroying Errol Spence, and Errol Spence has no chance, and Errol Spence ain't the same since the accident. But all of a sudden the fight gets announced and you see some people like, man, oh, if Errol stayed behind his jab, nah, keep that same energy. Why is this concept so hard? If you think Crawford wins, I don't even have no beef with that. Crawford's a great fighter, but stand on that. If you think Errol's gonna win, stand on that. Why is it this like flimsy hedging of bets that goes on repeatedly in boxing? Not from me though. It just shows you that men aren't truly, there's no conviction to what they're saying. Like me, I'll be a martyr for what I really believe in. Like when I'm passionate and I believe in stuff, like we can battle to the death about it. I really feel this way in my heart of all hearts. Like this is not a game, it's not an act. When I say something, I mean it. And I think there's a certain level of validity that you get because when you listen to a Boxingego video, you know that's what you're getting. You know you're getting the raw, uncut, and this is how I truly feel. I don't feel this way because I'm recording a video and putting it on the internet. I feel this way if you see me in public. I still feel the same way. I've never disrespected Terence Crawford or Errol Spence. I think they're both great fighters, but breaking down the fight, I told you this was one of the problems. You have people who do a lot of rah, and I told you with the people that I had seen publicly, the celebrities picking Crawford, no one was really intelligently breaking down how Crawford wins. They were saying stuff that was more so wishful thinking or just like so generic that, oh, Crawford gonna win, Crawford gonna spank him, that kind of thing. But I was looking for more in-depth, introspective, intelligent, detailed breakdowns, and I'm not really getting it. But what I have seen is the people are picking Errol Spence. They seem to really believe that Errol Spence is gonna win, and they're telling you in detail how he gets it done. And that's all I've ever wanted to see. I don't care who you're picking. Judgment Day is July 29th, but stay consistent to what you really feel, if you really feel it. Lastly, Tim Bradley, I mean, he said a lot of nonsense to me, but what he said that really didn't make no sense was he said in the Floyd Mayweather era, the judges look for like pretty boxing or something like that. And then more modern day Las Vegas judges, they're looking for something completely different. What are you talking about? First of all, you fought Manny Pacquiao in Vegas, and I don't think you won the fight, and they gave it to you. So what are you talking about with the Las Vegas judges? And basically, he's insinuating that there's corruption, and that doesn't make sense, again, if you're picking Crawford by knockout, which is what you told the public. Furthermore, what are you talking about when most of these judges are 50 plus, 60 plus years old? They're not, you don't see youthful judges straight out of high school. These are like old men, oftentimes old white men, right? So they've been judges. You're talking about the judging, the Las Vegas style of judging was different when it was Floyd Mayweather. But these guys were judges and refs, the refs and judges, the turnaround is not that insane for that. So a lot of the judges and the people that you see in boxing, they were doing it when Floyd was an active fighter as well. Like this is Levi Martinez. He was one of the judges for Canelo versus Lara, who scored it for Canelo by a wide margin, which I think is cap. But nonetheless, I digress. He's 70 years old. So what are you talking about? The current Las Vegas judges judge in this type of way. This is like 50, 60, 70-year-old men that have been judging when Floyd was around, after Floyd, currently judging. So it's not like this enhanced different style of judging. Nothing has really changed in terms of the Las Vegas judging. Sometimes it's bogus, like Canelo Triple G won. Sometimes it's on the money. You know what I mean? Like Ward versus Kovalev. It just depends on the promotion and the individual fight. So I didn't even understand that concept from Bradley. These are the same crop of judges since 200 BC. So it's not like this inherent difference. What this sounds like is a cop-out, because now that the fight is on and popping and you've seen them face to face and you know it's real, you get to see the energies. Now it sounds like you're trying to back off the blocks and double back because you're not firm in your prediction. If you were firm, like look at Derek James, he believes in Errol Spence. he's never wavered. He's never said like, oh, I'm scared now. He gives respect to Crawford and keeps it pushing. He said Crawford's a good fighter. My fighter beats him. End of. Tim Bradley, he's the one, oh, Crawford by knockout. Crawford gonna destroy him. I sparred Crawford. Nah, no, won't. Now he's talking about some judges. Nah, man, stop. Told you I'm the best in the business, and I'm out. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack.